This project has been on my to-do list forever. I mean, like years. And when my pantry started overflowing into the part that's my laundry room, I knew it was time to do something about it. My plan was to just empty all of the pantry shelves, reorganize everything, and fix some of the boards that were coming loose from the underneath. Some of them were worse than others, which was causing everything on those shelves to sort of tip forward and fall forward. And I was just tired, honestly, of things falling off the shelves whenever I would open the door. Let's get some before pictures and see what it looks like before I get started. When I moved into this house 6 years ago, I didn't do a whole lot with the pantry besides just cover it with this contact paper that you can see here is lifting. My intent when I took everything off of these shelves was to just replace the contact paper, fix the boards, and put everything back once I sorted and organized it. Here's a look at absolutely everything that came out of my pantry. There's 5 shelves, including the floor, and each shelf is about 5.5 feet wide. There's probably a good portion of it that's also expired, or stuff that my daughter bought when she was here and I just don't eat it. Here's another look at the shelves while they're empty, where you can see the back corner is lifting up from the boards. I thought this happened because the stuff on the shelves was maybe just a little bit too heavy and caused it to tip forward and come loose from the back. My intent was just to grab this hammer. I really and truly thought I was going to be able to just screw the back down and put everything back on the shelves once they were cleaned. But I quickly realized these boards were not just tipping forward because they came loose, but they're kind of warped. So that back corner is not flat against the board anymore, and it's come loose because it was only held down with little tiny finishing nails. I also realized I wasn't going to be able to get this shelf out because the shelf above it is holding it in and the shelf below it is holding it in. So unless I'm going to remove every single shelf, which I did not want to do, I'm going to move on to sorting the food and wait until my husband gets home from work so that he can help me sort this out. Before I tell you at the end of this sorting process, how many trash bags of food do you think I threw away? Leave me a comment down below and I'll tell you when I'm finished sorting. It really didn't take me too long considering the amount of food on this counter, but I did touch every single item. I looked at every single expiration date, and if it was already expired, it went in the trash. Leave me another comment with the oldest date you think I found in my pantry. I'll give you a hint. It was more than a couple of years.
Take your pain away, 'cause I hate seeing tears streaming down your face. I know you're strong.
I'm currently at a point cleaning out my pantry that I can't do anymore until my husband gets home, and that won't be for a couple hours. So instead of waiting for him to get home and just sitting around doing nothing, I am going to take down my Halloween decor. If you watched my Halloween clean and decorate video, you'll remember me saying I couldn't reach all of the Halloween decorations because I'm scared to stand on the ladder to get them down. The only ones I was able to get are the ones I could reach right in the front. I'll be honest, it was nice only having one box of decorations to put away. Maybe I'll get rid of some of the other stuff I didn't use. Okay, husband is home, and as you can see here, he's super excited to come home from work to do more work. Just kidding, he doesn't mind. Anyway, I thought that I was going to be able to hold the board, hand him screws, do whatever, and he was going to be able to screw the corner back down. He did all of one screw and said immediately no. Like just this one that you see here, that's the only one we tried because he immediately said, nope, we're going to need new boards. He's also trying to take the boards out like I did and realizes that the top one is holding it in, the bottom one is holding it in. He grabs his saw and says, go get the shop vac, and I'm like, okay. I'm standing here thinking I'm doing something while he's sawing these boards in half. I want to say, this is really dangerous. Don't do this at home. We are definitely not professionals here. Now, while this is dangerous, it was extremely efficient knowing that we weren't going to use these boards, and me holding the shop vac while he was sawing the board in half actually really did work. There wasn't too much cleanup on the floors or the shelves below, just a little bit. It did catch most of the sawdust, so if you are stupid like we are and try this at home, it worked. Now remember I said earlier the shelves were held on with little finishing nails? So are these. These are the boards that actually support the shelves with all the food on them, the heavy cans and all the other crap I put on there. So we're reinforcing it with some screws into the studs to make sure that it's supported a little bit better than the previous shelves. When we removed all the shelves, we found this wire running along the bottom of the wall, and I didn't know what it went to. Apparently, the electrical outlet on the other side is what this is. So we're attaching it to the wall with the proper attachments to make sure that it stays secure and doesn't hang down anymore. Did you know that Home Depot will cut boards for you? So if you're buying something and you don't have a saw, give them the measurements of the cuts you want and they'll do it for you. As you can see, my laundry room is not that big. It's my laundry room pantry / entry from the garage. I can't even open the pantry doors and come in the garage. They have to be closed in order for the garage door to open. Once he put a couple of the shelves on, he realized one side of them was a little bit nicer than the other. So the perfectionist that he is, I'm like, it's a pantry, I don't care, they're gonna get torn up, it doesn't matter. But he insisted, so he took them all back down, turned them around, and put the nice side out.
There must be another way, there must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be more to the reason why we do it all for love. There must be more.
We didn't even need to adjust any of the boards that were holding the shelves in place, and all we did was lay them on there and they were already perfectly level, so we got really lucky with that. We are going to screw them down though. We're not going to use little finishing nails to hold them in place, and then I just have to clean off the little stickers with some Gooby Gone to get ready to put everything back on the shelves. Now, it is a pantry and it's going to be filled up with food and things where you can't see these boards and you can't see the paint imperfections from whoever painted this pantry before me. But since everything was already off of the shelves and I already had a spare can of paint in the garage, I decided to go ahead and just give it a quick coat to make it look somewhat nice before I junk it all up with my stuff again.
You can travel the world, so just say yes. Choose to do whatever comes next. This or that, getting drunk on whiskey on a Tuesday night, or drinking red wine by an open fire, make love or fight. This or that. This or that, evenings on the train or catch a morning flight, enjoying dinner until midnight or bed by night.
This is not one of those picture perfect Pinterest pantries. It's just, you know, so-so. I did the best I could with what I have.
In the open wild, catch a glimpse of Panama.
It's been a couple hours and the paint is dry. So now I'm just going to take everything that's already been sorted and reorganized, clean, check for expiration dates, blah, 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 back into the pantry. Now, I thought I was going to reorganize and put things in different places, but I realized then I'm kind of a creature of habit and I like things where they were. And because I have a lot less of what I originally started with, it really does fit better. So I move things around and I try to adjust the items thinking like, okay, I'm going to put all the baking stuff here. And then I realized I didn't like it there. I put it back where it was originally. I'm also not buying any new special containers for sugar and flour. I'm using what I already have. The cereal containers, the can dispensers, the Dollar Tree baskets, they all work fine for me. I've had those Dollar Tree baskets probably since I moved in 6 years ago. They were $1 and they're not broken. They work just fine and they hold all of my little things in the places I need them to hold. No need to buy something new.
Make love or fight. This or that. This or that. Evenings on the train or catch a morning flight.
I don't have a lot of counter space in my kitchen, and honestly, even if I did, I wouldn't keep all this stuff out on the counter. I keep it on the floor in the pantry. So here's a look from top to bottom of everything reorganized. It fits so much better because I have a lot less stuff, and hopefully I am going to be disciplined enough to keep it this way. Check back with me in a couple months and see if it still looks like this.
Drunk on whiskey on a Tuesday night, or drinking red wine by an open fire, make love or fight. This or that.
Now we're in the laundry room. Just kidding, it's still my pantry. It's just the other side. Oh, I crack myself up sometimes. Anyway, this is just kind of like a collection of stuff that people throw here when they don't walk all the way out to the garage, and by people, I mean me. Some of my pantry stuff was actually overflowing on here, and this is really disgusting to see that I actually had like food storage boxes and containers up here. And now that it all fits in my pantry, I am going to clean this off and just reorganize it a little bit. A lot of these containers work well for me. I'm not going to move anything around. I'm just going to clean it up and get rid of the miscellaneous sock basket there that has miscellaneous socks with no matches. I really and truly appreciate you sticking around with me watching this video today. It's something that I've had on my to-do list for a long time, and now that it's done, I am super happy to finally have this task completed. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week.